What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with episode 7 of Mod Review. Today we're going to be covering a really awesome mod which is essentially just a skin, and that is the Battle Damaged Darth Vader mod for Star Wars Battlefront 2. This mod is made by nanobuds over on the Nexus mod site, and Nano is definitely one of the top modders in the entire community with some of the amazing mods that he has released since he started. This mod is actually multiplayer safe as well, which as always just makes it all that much better as you're not really restricted to just playing it offline, which gives it a lot of replayability. Now, as always in these mod reviews, I'm going to be going through 5 different sections, with those being detail, functionality, additional mods if there are any, then I'll give my score for the review as a whole, and then lastly, if it is applicable, I'll touch on any improvements or additions that would be great to see as well. But anyway guys, with that out of the way, let's get stuck right into this review. When it comes to the detail of this mod, I won't lie, it might be one of the more detailed and high quality mods, at least in terms of appearance anyway, that I've seen so far in Battlefront 2. Now, this mod is a little older than most that I've covered in this series, but if anything that just adds to the quality, because generally speaking the older mods seem to be a little bit lower in quality since the modders weren't actually able to use the same tools that they currently can. Now, this mod comes with 3 different appearances for you to choose from, one being the helmetless version, one being the cracked version where his eye is cracked similar to what happened in Rebels, and then the final one is just a regular helmeted version, although the helmet does have some burns and marks on it, so it's not exactly the same as the vanilla helmet. The helmetless version seems to use Anakin's character model for the face, with obviously some pretty drastic edits to it, but it does definitely look quite a lot like Anakin does in the game. It seems like it's always pretty hard for modders to get the facial features right on any characters who don't wear a helmet, but I think Nano made great use of Anakin's model here to make it look exactly as it should. Now, the cracked helmet skin is definitely my favourite skin of the 3. The body is exactly the same for this one, however he does obviously have his helmet back on, and I think when you're actually playing as Vader, this one definitely looks the nicest. The regular helmet one looks pretty much the same within the actual gameplay, and so personally I just prefer the cracked one since it does look a little bit nicer. But in saying that, I do love the fact that Nano still added the ability to choose the regular helmet if you would prefer it. Now, this skin is one that was absolutely begged for by the entire community when the game was still being supported. I'd argue it was probably one of the most requested skins in the entire game, and people were even asking for a probably less damaged version than this one. So I think that's what I love about this mod the most, just the extra length that it goes through in terms of the damage. It seems as though he got caught in an explosion or something like that, probably just a fire, as the entire right side of his body is affected, revealing his bionic arm and leg, showing burn marks all over his chest armor, and even going into the detail of having his skin be severely burned from his fight with Obi-Wan on Mustafar. I would have been so happy with this mod if it was simply just a broken helmet and, you know, maybe some small burns and scratches and stuff like that, but the amount of damage shown in the skin just makes it all that much better for me. Now, something that shouldn't go unnoticed in this mod is that Vader's breathing is actually affected by the fact that his helmet is either off or broken. Obviously, at the end of Return of the Jedi, when Luke pulls off his helmet, we hear the breathing sounding very different as his restorator was damaged, and it also just sounds different without the helmet there to give it that sort of echo effect. And so anyway, that same effect is built into this mod as well, which is probably one of the aspects that I love the most. Not only that, but just like the regular breathing in game, it also speeds up when you run, so all around the immersion of this mod is genuinely off the charts. Overall, the detail of this mod is amazing, it looks awesome, it sounds awesome, and it is exactly what you would expect if DICE themselves had have added this skin. When it comes to the functionality, as in how well the mod works, whether there are any issues or anything like that, there was literally not one single issue that I could find wrong with the mod overall. If there was one tiny thing that I could nitpick, it would be the fact that Vader's robotic leg doesn't make that sort of metal clinking sound when he walks. I think that would have been the cherry on top when it comes to the immersion. However, I also don't think it even matters slightly because it's not the most important aspect of the mod by any means. Overall, the mod functioned exactly as it needed to, and it definitely doesn't lose any points in that regard. Now, as far as additional mods go, there weren't any that I could find that added to the focus mod, and so it is finally time to give a score for the mod. The detail of this mod, like I mentioned at the start of the video, might be some of the highest quality that I've seen in the entire Battlefront 2 modding community. The extent of the damage, the option of 3 different skins, and the edited audio to suit the broken respirator, it all just adds up perfectly to make this mod so damn impressive. In terms of the functionality, like I said, there honestly wasn't anything that I could find wrong with the mod. The great thing about, regular appearance replacement mods is that it's not very often they seem to mess with the game in a bad way. I'm giving the Battle Damaged Darth Vader mod created by nanobuds an overall score of 4.4 out of 5. It's one of my personally most wanted skins since the launch of the game, and the fact that this was pulled off to this level of quality, it deserves all the praise it can get. There is obviously so much subjectivity involved in scoring these mods, so let me know down in the comments what you guys would rate the mod overall. Obviously it's a little bit harder without having played it yourself, but from what you've seen in the video, let me know down in the comments what you would give this mod out of 5. Now lastly, moving on to just some quick improvements that I've loved to see, and honestly there was only one or two small things that I could think of that would have improved the mod overall. Firstly, like I mentioned before, just having that metal clinking sound on one single leg would have been an awesome touch. I'm not really sure how possible that is, since I kind of doubt you can actually make each leg have a different noise, but if it is possible, I think that would have been an awesome touch. Secondly, I think it'd be amazing if Anakin's voice lines could be used, although obviously none of them would really make sense, but having it sound like Anakin with maybe a bit of a weirder voice or something would be amazing as well, although I think that one would be pretty damn hard to make it work. Let me know down in the comments what else you guys can think of when it comes to some possible changes or additions. I'm definitely keen to hear what you guys have to say, as I know there's probably plenty of cool ideas I didn't think of. That is going to do it for this one though, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the mod review series, and if you did, then be sure to go and check out some of the latest episodes, with the last one covering an awesome Death Watch overhaul for Star Wars Battlefront 2. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Crush them! Make them suffer!